My girlfriend bullied a disabled classmate. Should I run? I beg your finest pardon. All right, so the title of this story is, my girlfriend told me about some mean prank she did to a slower kid in high school. Is it a red flag even though it was a few years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But I'll let you finish. I, 24 male, have only known my current girlfriend, 22 female, for about 3 months, but we have great chemistry so far. A few days ago, we were talking about some stories we had from high school. She told me about a weird kid in her school that her friends used to mess with. She used to pretend to be interested in being his girlfriend, and then she'd embarrass him by getting to do something humiliating or showing their private text to other people, or they'd set up some kind of elaborate prank on him.
Your girlfriend sucks.
In the story, she told me she was on a date with him one night in a park. Date is in quotations. She told me she wanted him to take off his pantaloons for her. After he did it, her other friends came and took the pants and everyone drove away, leaving him alone to walk home in his underwear. Okay. She told me more stories, but you get the point. Bombastic side eye.
Awful.
It made me sad though, because I got the impression the guy might have been a little mentally disabled or something, because she said that after everything they do, he still wouldn't understand that she was in on all these pranks with her other friends. Oh, my heart. Oh.
That's cruel.
She'd either pretend it had nothing to do with her or she'd make up some excuse, I guess, and the kid kept falling for it. She really thought it was funny though, like she could barely contain herself while she was telling me this stuff.
Assess the situation and I'm going.
Oh my God. Heavens to Betsy. I don't want to say your girlfriend's a psycho, but I'm gonna say it. Your girlfriend's a psycho. Even to just still find it funny. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a story.
Hey kids, it's story time!
When I was in elementary school, I was friends with, pretty sure, a kid that had autism, and he would have like fits in class and stuff like that. And I went to his house every day after school. His mom babysat me. And there were like rumors going around and stuff that we were dating and stuff. But at the end of the day, it was just like, I was just at this kid's house after school and we were friends. I have never looked back on that and like laughed at this kid. And like, I would hope that anyone who sort of bullied me for being friends with this kid really can think back on that and think why.
Because they suck!
I would hope that as you get older, you could look back on that and really see it for what it was.
Bullying.
And not find it funny. I was definitely bullied for hanging out with this kid. Everybody was just, oh, you're dating him, you're dating the weird guy. And it's like, his mom babysits me and he's a friend of mine. Like, he's actually like a cool kid. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Looking back on that, I know that kids can be super mean and, dare I say, ableist to kids that are different. But the important thing is to grow up and look back on that later in life and realize, hey, you know, that was kind of mean. The fact that she's an adult now and she still finds bullying a mentally disabled kid funny, buddy, run. It's not funny. It makes her look terrible. Like, it would be one thing if she talked about it and like felt bad about how she treated him, but she doesn't. She still finds it funny. Ugh. How are you not embarrassed? It's been a few days and it's bothering me, so I figured I'd ask for some advice. I have a feeling this is a huge overreaction. I don't think it is at all. It's just a strange feeling because she seems so incredibly sweet up until this point, but after telling me this story and the lack of remorse, it's difficult to look at her the same way. I'm not perfect by any means, and I feel like I'm being a dick for judging someone about something that happened in high school, but it still bothers me. For the record, I feel like you're not judging someone about what they did in high school, okay? I do judge people when I find out that they were bullies in high school just because I have my own personal issues with that, but it's like not feeling any remorse as an adult. That's what I judge about, okay? OOP updated in the comments and said, I just want to thank everyone for all your advice. I have a lot to think about and I'm pretty set on breaking up with her. But as someone else suggested, I do want to talk to her and see what she says if I actually confront her about what she did being wrong. The story she told made me sad, but the response of all of you made me really happy to see so many great people and to know that I wasn't overthinking it. By the way, I can't find the comment now, but someone said she probably teases dogs by holding food over its face. Just wanted to say you're correct. That's what she did the first time she ate near my dog until I told her to stop. Like, zero empathy this person has. Like, I hate when people do that, but I also know a lot of people do, so I don't think much of it. But seriously, amazing prediction. Thanks for help connecting the dots. Okay, so we do have an update. 3 days later. Hey everyone, first I wanted to say thanks for all the advice you gave me. I asked the question thinking I was overreacting, but as I read some of your responses, especially from those who had traumatic experiences themselves, it sort of knocked some sense into me, so I appreciate that. That being said, this was still pretty hard for me even though we've only been together for 3 months. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. I decided to take your advice of talking to her before breaking up. People wanted to know what the result was, so I'll try to briefly give you the gist of it. Last night, we hung out for a couple of hours, and to be honest, we really had a great time together, and it was hard for me to even have this conversation at the end of it. I just wanted to move on and ignore the red flag, but I knew it shouldn't be ignored. I brought up the kid she told me about again, but I did it very casually, not like I was gonna lecture her or something, so her guard was still down. She started laughing just at the mention of him.
Ew, no, David.
She casually told me another story of her friend's antics with him. I then asked her why they like to mess with him so much. She paused for a second and then kind of giggled and said, I don't know, he was just a douchebag.
What does it mean? What?
I asked, why was he a douchebag? Did he do something to you to make you mad at him? She said, not really, he was just so stupid and naive, it was annoying.
Oh, God.
My flabbers are gasted right now. There was a pause because I didn't really know how to follow up to that answer. Then she continued and said, exact words,
He had no purpose. He was just there to make people laugh.
oh, no, to the bin with you. Like, no.
Trash. So much trash.
This is nuts. It really made me sad to hear that because I wanted there to be some explanation that reduced the cruelty of the situation, but there wasn't. I got kind of angry and I told her that everything she told me was absolutely horrific and that she should think about how she would feel if someone did these things to her. I said that to torture an innocent person just because it's entertaining is a totally inhuman thing. Kind of like serial killer-ish, like honestly, like this is kind of up. I have the heebie-jeebies. And the fact that she still has the same mindset today shows how immature she is on top of it. I'm normally not harsh like that, but it just came out. While I was talking, she gave me a look of total incredulity, like she thought I was joking or going insane or something.
I was actually dropped.
You know, but this reinforces that like she genuinely thinks that it's normal to feel like this. It's really not. Whether that's people around her making it seem like it's okay, or maybe she was raised to feel this way, but like I genuinely feel like this extends to like other groups of people and not just this kid that she bullied.
It is a messed up world.
It's garbage day tomorrow, just FYI. I told her I can't continue a relationship with somebody like this, even though we had such a great thing up until this point. I actually had to convince her I was serious and not joking around. She thought the real reason I wanted to break up was this minor thing that happened a couple weeks ago. She couldn't believe I was ending the relationship because of this. Once she knew I was serious, she got extremely angry, saying I was just getting off on shaming her because I wanted to abuse her and that I have no right to talk to her like that and so on. I'm interesting how she's so quick to recognize the A word in other people when they're doing it to her, but not when she's doing it to others. And by the way, you standing up for someone innocent and like setting a boundary and saying like, this is not okay. This is like really horrible behavior. It's not abuse. She called me all kinds of names and said how she never liked me anyway and how I'm a loser, etc., etc. Okay, so it all comes out, eh? But other than that, we parted ways smoothly. I got some angry texts this morning, which I'm saving for a while just in case. So there it is. I honestly feel better already because I know it's for the better, especially considering her reaction. I figured I'd give you this update since everyone seemed pretty interested in the situation. Thanks again. Thank God. Like somehow this person has been raised to feel like what she did was justified.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
This kind of behavior I genuinely feel like is taught. And it's probably really ingrained in her as a person. And unfortunately, until she suffers a consequence for saying and doing horrible things, she's just gonna keep doing them.
I'm not a bad person.
Her thinking he's getting off on shaming her is a bit ironic. That's why I was just like, oh, interesting how it's like, yeah. I'm the victim. No, wouldn't say that. Because she sees herself as a normal person, so she doesn't deserve that treatment.
It's time we had a discourse about neurotypical ableism.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible to think. Oh my goodness. Ooh, yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Well, I think that she revealed her true colors like quite early on in the relationship. The fact that she felt this comfortable like talking about this means that she genuinely thinks that this is how everyone feels. It's not.
Get with the times, Greg.
Anyways, we got some more spicy girlfriend drama for you. Don't go anywhere. My 24 male girlfriend, 26 female, does unbelievably stupid and self-centered things in public all the time. I'm honestly ashamed to go out with her. You don't say. I like how this trigger warning is entitlement. I do need a trigger warning. I need to brace myself for the entitlement. Hi everyone, this is the first time asking for relationship advice online. I've tried to bring the topic up with my friends and family, but I've never really been able to broach the subject out of fear of embarrassing her or ruining their opinion of her. The situation isn't very complicated. I've been in a 6-month-long relationship with a woman, but in public, she does things that the average 10-year-old knows not to do. In the past month, she has, on multiple occasions, crowded in front of the door of an elevator and rushed in without letting people off. Like I said, it's garbage day tomorrow. On multiple occasions, taken out her phone while driving to respond to a text, slowing down to 15 miles per hour under the speed limit while doing so. Walking into a restaurant and instead of waiting to be seated, just navigated her way to where she wanted to sit. Squeezed in, as in pushing her body up into them as she did so, behind a person who was standing up to get off a crowded train so she could sit down before anyone else could grab the seat. Completely ruined a load of my white clothes by stopping the washing machine and throwing a brand new purple shirt of hers with them. When confronted, she said I was in a hurry to wash it.
Slow down.
Is she really dumb or very entitled? I don't know. Maybe a bit of both. When I try to bring up her behavior, she says I don't respect her or that I'm being judgmental. She gets incredibly upset and defensive, often telling me reasons why she did the above things. The text was important, her feet hurt on the train, and so on. I'm really desperate for a decent way to convey why her behavior is so absurd to her, because I like her in general, but I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's so inconsiderate toward total strangers. My social anxiety could literally never, especially the texting on the road. And like, first of all, that's like illegal, but like, second of all, slowing down so that everyone's like beeping at her. Oh my gosh. I don't even like in public bathrooms because it takes too long and it's inconsiderate because other people are waiting. I can't do it. I'm getting anxiety just reading this. She's not only doing things that are like really entitled and selfish and like very inconsiderate, like the texting and driving thing is flat out like very dangerous, you know? Like her inconsiderate behavior is also borderline putting herself and others in danger. Is it really that deep? I feel like it is. I feel like it kind of is. No? Important comment, she's 26, that frontal lobe is fully developed. If she doesn't see a problem with her behavior, I doubt she's going to change. I suggest just sitting her down and telling her how you feel about her actions in public. Be completely honest, and if she continues, I would say it's time to reassess the relationship. The washer incident tells me she wouldn't hold herself accountable, but OP, how does she treat and act in front of the people she knows? Yeah, the washer thing is just kind of like, I find it interesting that she ruined your clothes and didn't apologize. I mean, you didn't share if she apologized or not, but she ruined your stuff. If it comes up where you accidentally ruin someone's stuff, but accident is kind of like neither here nor there because most people know don't throw colors in with whites. You not only apologize, but you try to find a way to make it right. You didn't share whether she did either of those things. So yeah, we do have an update. 3 days after I wrote about her self-centered behavior and cosmic victim complex, she made my decision easy for me. We were at the dollar store and in line at the checkout. My girlfriend got to the register where the cashier started scanning all 50 or so of the items she wanted. Our total came up and my girlfriend tried to pay by credit card. The cashier apologetically explained that they weren't taking credit card at that time because their system was acting up all morning. She pointed at the handwritten cash-only sign that my girlfriend had missed. Neither of us had cash on us. First, my girlfriend tried to debate with the cashier, but I had to patiently explain to her that there was nothing the poor woman could do.
Oh boy.
I feel like this girlfriend is kind of like a Karen in making, honestly. What is debating gonna do? The machine doesn't work. As my girlfriend argued her point, whatever the f it was, the line behind us grew with a lot of very rightfully irritated people. Oh God, no. Oh, I get social anxiety so bad and like I have it literally reading this.
I'm cringing watching him.
There I was trying to placate my girlfriend as she tried to troubleshoot their equipment. As people were audibly groaning behind us. Finally, she agreed to take the 5 minutes to go across the street and withdraw money from the ATM, which shouldn't have been such a big deal in the first place. My girlfriend told the cashier to keep everything scanned and ready for her to pay when she came back.
But that's unrealistic, so.
So wait, then everybody else has to wait? It doesn't work like that. It's funny how she doesn't want to wait, but she'll let other people wait. I was going to interject, but the cashier said, "Ma'am, there are people waiting. I can't do that." With a little glance at the line, my girlfriend retorted,
Oh, they can wait a bit longer.
That's rude.
"Oh my goodness." Without a word, she left to get some money. The terrified cashier awkwardly looked at me, seeking permission to cancel the items. I told her it was fine and to please help the next customer. I literally would have just like left her there. I literally would have just left.
Goodbye.
As person after person paid for their goods, I apologized to each of them individually. They seemed understanding. The fact that you're so embarrassed that you need to apologize, ooh, buddy. My girlfriend came back 10 minutes later because she wanted to get an icy from the corner shop after withdrawing money. So she knew that there was an entire line of people waiting there for her, and she still took longer because she wanted an icy?
They are delicious.
You hear that? It's the garbage truck. When she noticed the items had to be scanned all over again, she flipped her lid. She started ranting about calling corporate, which I'm not even sure exists for that small dollar store chain, and then talked about posting it on Twitter. Finally, I blew up, yelled at her for being a very selfish person with expletives, and just walked away. I'm done. The relationship is done. She's texting me, but I'm not even reading them. Holy Mother of Christ. I really hope the next guy who dates her has the patience of a saint. Or maybe I hope she dates a total self-righteous dad who can straighten her out. I kind of think the latter would be better.
Well, they deserve each other.
They do.
This is a Karen in the making. I guarantee you. I am very glad that you guys aren't together anymore, because no one should feel like they need to apologize for their spouse. Especially not for stupid like this. Does she not know how to human? For the record, if people are wondering how someone comes to be this entitled, OP responded, "I'm going to bet she was raised by parents who treated her like a princess."
Princess?
Girlfriend and I, 26, male and female, got into a huge fight over a keyboard. Thinking about ending things based on her behavior. So, my girlfriend and I got into a fight about this 2 nights ago, and she's making it seem like I'm being an a-hole. We've been dating for 4.5 months. My girlfriend has a 2013 Lenovo laptop that has seen better days. As it stands right now, among some other issues, her keyboard doesn't totally work. Because of this, she always uses a small Bluetooth keyboard with her laptop. She had texted me the next morning saying that her wireless keyboard had stopped working as well. We had already planned for me to stay the night at her place after I got off work, so I offered to stop by my place on the way to grab her a keyboard, as I have a few extras. When I got to her place, she was eagerly awaiting the keyboard, which makes sense, as she wasn't able to use her computer for most of the day. But when I handed her the keyboard, she started getting really quiet and pouty.
Uh-oh.
A bit later, when I asked her what was wrong, she said she thought I'd be bringing her something nicer, like the keyboard I have at my desk. Something nicer? So she wanted your keyboard. The thing is, I have a really nice keyboard at my desk. I'm a programmer and I love this keyboard so much that I also bring it to work with me. I even have specific macro profiles for it that definitely improve my workflow. For context, I have an extra Amazon Basics keyboard, $15 lying around, still brand new in the box. My personal keyboard, which I've had for years, is some variant of the Razer Black Widow, $120. Apparently, she was expecting me to be selfless and let her use my nice keyboard while I used my Amazon keyboard.
What?
Something tells me her keyboard didn't stop working. I think she just wanted your keyboard. She was upset I didn't value her enough to lend her my nice possessions and left her with the cheap $10 keyboard, her words. Okay, this is reaching, because like she didn't ask you for the nice keyboard. You went out of your way to go and pick up one of your keyboards that you have lying around and bring it to her. But it's not the keyboard. Like I thought, okay, I thought that she needed a keyboard. No, this is about her wanting your keyboard. I'm just saying. She said if the situation was reversed, she'd lend me the nice keyboard. I explained to her that I have my keyboard specifically set up for work, and because I'm so used to it, it would hinder my ability to do work if I didn't have it. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, nice keyboards especially are like, they're kind of programmed to be able to use in certain situations.
The keyboard cowboys.
Yeah, it's not as simple as that. And also, she doesn't really seem to take good care of her shit. I would not lend her my nice things, just saying. We continued to argue about it. Things really came to a head when she boldly claimed that if I wasn't willing to lend her my nice keyboard, that I should have brought her a new nice keyboard if I really cared about her.
What?
Did she shop at Lululemon or something? I just fail to understand why this is even a fight to begin with. You did everything right. You brought her a keyboard when hers wasn't working. No, this is about her wanting the keyboard, the nice keyboard. This is when I got really mad. I told her she was acting like an entitled, spoiled child and that she should have been grateful that I went out of my way in the first place to grab her the Amazon keyboard. She started crying and asked me to go home. I left, but I still gave her the Amazon keyboard to use. I was far more upset about the principle of the situation than the keyboard itself. So now she's calling me an a-hole for both not giving her the keyboard and because I called her spoiled. Well, she is though. Weird. We're going to meet up tomorrow to talk about this in person because I refuse to continue this silly argument over text. I'm thinking about ending things with her as I feel like this is her showing me her true colors. I fail to understand why this is even a fight to begin with. Like, you solved her problem. You went out of her way to help her. You did everything right. You went over and above, quite frankly. Why is it that she's starting a fight over, like, wanting something nicer?
Entitled breeders.
So OP edited and said, I want to clarify she's never acted like this before. I mean, you've only been dating 4.5 months. Some of you suggested that maybe I'm not making her feel valued and this situation is a symptom of that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know the history of your relationship. I really don't.
Why not?
I just fail to understand why it's an argument. Like, it would make sense if it was like, you know, he never like gets her nice things or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know the history there, but maybe this is about like a wider issue because I don't understand why this is even an issue in the first place unless it was a recurring issue or she's just entitled. I don't know. So maybe talking to her would be good to find out if there's something deeper going on. While I think I both show and tell her that she's valued in different ways, this may be something I bring up with her. It of course doesn't forgive her behavior, but it may explain some of it. Update. We met earlier tonight and sat down to talk. I was somewhat prepared to end things with her, so I suggested we meet at her place so that I could bail if things went south, and they did. Oh no. Oh no. I hate it when things go south. I'm kidding, I don't. Tell us everything.
Spill the tea!
Even though I thought I made my post as anonymous as possible, one of my girlfriend's co-workers figured out who the post was about. Girlfriend's age, working in HR, which I mentioned in a comment, same computer problems, dating a programmer, etc., and sent it to my girlfriend. The reason she wanted to meet early was because she was furious that I had made the post airing our dirty laundry. I mean, you did make it anonymous.
That's true. Very true.
In a sense, I guess she was right because at least one person had figured it out. My girlfriend never used Reddit, so I figured I was safe. There's a strong chance she'll read this one as well. I really don't think there was much identifying about your post at all. It's interesting that she's more concerned about people finding out how weird she was acting, but I digress. Anyways, she immediately began berating me, telling me I made her look bad in the post and lied about the details of our argument to get people on my side. I asked her to point out any part of it that wasn't true or where I lied. Long story short, she couldn't point out a single thing. I think she was mad probably about the comments calling her entitled, because like,
She is.
I can guarantee if everybody was on her side, she would feel differently. I definitely raised my voice when I told her that if she looked bad, it's only because of her actions. That part. I told her I only made the post to get some perspective on the matter. The post was 100% accurate and she knew it. She began to tear up and asked me if I was really considering leaving her over the keyboard. It's not over the keyboard, it's over the entitled behavior. I asked her if she understood this wasn't about the keyboard. It was about the way she acted toward me when I was trying to do her a favor. She stayed silent and didn't answer. I asked her what had prompted this outburst, if everything was okay with her. I asked if anything happened with her friends, her parents, or at work that was upsetting her and may have led to this. She got really defensive, asking, "Are you calling me crazy? Do you think I'm unstable? Whoa, whoa, whoa."
Hold up.
I feel like you asking that is you trying to understand where she's coming from better, not calling her crazy. I had no idea where she was going with this. I told her I wasn't calling her crazy, but she had to understand I was confused about how she was acting and there had to be a reason. We talked in circles for a bit. I tried to pry it out of her. I still don't know what caused all of this because she wouldn't tell me. When I realized our conversation was going nowhere, I finally asked if we were going to have an adult conversation or if this was the hill she was going to let the relationship die on. She asked, "What do you want from me?" And I said, "I want an apology."
Damn.
I'm getting tired of typing, so I'll wrap this up quickly. She was absolutely unwilling to apologize. She thought that my betrayal of posting this was far worse than her initial behavior was. Why? Because you told someone about how crazy she was acting? We talked about it for 5 more minutes before I told her I don't even care anymore. I told her this whole thing was exhausting as she wasn't willing to help us get to the bottom of this, that we should just break up. I didn't waste any time making my way to the door.
Bye.
As I was leaving, she asked if I wanted my keyboard back. She didn't ask to be nice. She was definitely trying to get on my nerves. I could tell by her tone of voice. I told her she could keep it, thank God, as long as she promised to never call or text me again. Oh my God. I'm so glad you let her keep it. I've been getting tons of not so nice messages from her friends, which finally prompted me to delete my Facebook. She obviously told her friends some false version of the story, which made it seem like I really did leave her over the keyboard. I couldn't care less, as I'll never be seeing any of them ever again. We only dated for 4 months, so in the end, I don't feel terribly heartbroken. Mostly just relief that it's over, but also confusion. Still have no idea why she acted out. Maybe she's been reading or watching some of this content that's like,
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Pay for stuff. 50-50 is bad.
like all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to a certain extent, I watch those things because of like, they're entertaining and it's a new viewpoint and it's interesting to hear. But it's just interesting that this was completely out of nowhere and like, it almost has given her this new burst of entitlement that you don't know where it's coming from. Very short edit. She called earlier today and was very apologetic. My assumption is that she saw this post and read all the comments detailing how I was right for leaving her, among other things. I told her that she had her chance to apologize. No, she certainly did. And she lost that chance. Well, those were some wild and girlfriend stories, and honestly, we don't claim them. Subscribe!